All right, man, peace. You know what, brothers? LeBron James is at a very pivotal crossroads in his career. Either Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka are going to be able to acquire Anthony Davis and put LeBron in the position where he's going to expect himself and others are going to expect him to challenge for an NBA title, or he's just going to become another Wilt Chamberlain, someone who was great, who was transcendent physically, but is pretty much going to end his career being a stat patter. In my honest opinion, in LeBron James' heart of hearts, he's already considered option 2 and realized that it's not that bad. That's why he came to the Lakers in the first place. Because he said to himself, as long as Magic is able to make it look good, I'll just chill out here, make my business connections, and, make a nice little run in the playoffs, get to the second or maybe even third round, and say, well, what do you expect? I'm by myself. If I get help, then maybe I'll win and I'll just try to wait out the Golden State Warriors, hope that they break everything up. But once again, he does need help. LeBron James is not good enough to get the Lakers to the finals out of the Western Conference. And Stephen A. Smith is going to tell us exactly that. He's going to let it be known that if LeBron James is not able to get any help, he will never, ever win another championship. And I agree. So they're going to talk about it, and I'm going to chime in.
AD clearly focused on the Pelicans, not LeBron's comments about him playing in LA. But Stephen A., is AD the key to LeBron's title hopes with the Lakers?
I think he is. I think he is the absolute key. And a matter of fact, the level of urgency should be elevated.
Let me say this. Another reason why Stephen A. Smith is coming to this deduction is because it's more and more obvious that Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard, if they are going to leave their current teams, will most likely team up together with the Clippers.
Anthony Davis is scheduled to be in Los Angeles today, if not tonight. Why? Because they play the Los Angeles Lakers tomorrow, and unless you have a back-to-back, you're obligated to be in the respective NBA city you have to play for 24 hours before game time. He should be here tonight. I think LeBron should hook up with them. They should have a conversation, and the level of urgency should be elevated exponentially. Why? Because you have a grace period. The Boston's
Stephen A. Smith, we already know that LeBron James and Anthony Davis are going to hook up. Of course, it's not going to be publicly, but I guarantee you that Anthony Davis will find a way via his agent, Rich Paul, to convene with LeBron James and company to figure out how they're going to execute this machination.
Celtics, the team with the best options, because they've got all the talent in the world to offer the New Orleans Pelicans. They'd have to include Kyrie Irving in a deal if a deal were to be made. The likelihood is that they can't do anything before this summer. So the window of opportunity for the Lakers is now. And the reason why I say it's so important and they have to capitalize on the moment is because, as I reported a couple of weeks ago, the more the days of the NBA season go on, the more I keep hearing about the possibility of Kevin Durant being in LA with the Clippers.
Right, but Stephen A. Smith, I've been saying that for a while now. I mean, it's pretty obvious. That's the reason why Draymond detonated on KD in the first place, because he's been hearing the same damn thing.
And Kawhi Leonard potentially joining him. I have no idea whether that's going to happen or not.
Well, shit. Right now, the Clippers have Secret Service following Kawhi Leonard around. So, they got him right in their radar.
But if it were to happen and the Los Angeles Lakers don't get anything else for LeBron James going to go the next 4 years and go to LA without a title. And he's going to be that lone marquee guy outside of Elgin Baylor to have worn the purple and gold of the Los Angeles Lakers without having ever delivered a championship to Tinseltown. That is going to be the reality. It's not going to affect his greatness. His legacy is one of the all-time greats, but it is going to be a reality in terms of championships. So if you want to offset that, you got to go after Anthony Davis, and it's got to be sooner than later. I don't know if they'll cooperate. I don't think the Pelicans will cooperate.
Well, Stephen A. Smith, according to the head coach of the Pelicans, Alvin Gentry, he claims that there's no way that they're going to trade Anthony Davis. That's according to him. Now, we know right now we're in December of 2018. Their tone could be completely changed before the All-Star break or before the trade deadline of 2019, because he could just be putting forth the company line.
Right. But if you're Magic Johnson, you know how I feel about Kuzma, Max. I'm at the point right now, You might have to include Kuzma with Ingram.
Of course you have to include Kuzma. You have to include whoever they asked you for, Stephen A. Smith. I mean, give me a break. Of course, you try to hold off on moving him, but Anthony Davis is a top 5 NBA player. LeBron James is on anybody's list, top 3 at the very worst. On my list, he's number 1 right now. But if you can combine Anthony Davis with LeBron James, at the very least, you have a tandem to go against Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. And, you know, one would think that the tandem of LeBron James and Anthony Davis should be able to do more than nullify Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. I mean, one would think.
Ingram and the rest of the crew, do what you got to do to get your hands on Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis is available. Literally, this is my offer. I'm running the Lakers. Let's cut to the chase. You can't have LeBron, obviously. You can have literally the rest of the roster. Every single person on the roster, give me Anthony Davis. I'll start with LeBron and Anthony Davis. I'll sign guys from the D-League. I'm better off. None of those guys will ever add up to Anthony Davis. All of them combined do not add up to Anthony Davis.
And all those guys from the D-League, they can learn how to play in the LeBron James system anyway. Because most of the players that LeBron James teamed up with last year on the Cleveland Cavaliers were borderline D-League players. Jordan Clarkson is borderline D-League. J.R. Smith, borderline D-League. I mean, to be truly transparent about it, J.R. Smith is probably a D-League player right now who's just still in the NBA because he's J.R. Smith and he's been in the league for 10 years.
Anthony Davis does not hold LeBron's future hostage, though, because that assumes that Kawhi will not go to the Lakers. I think it's a little early for that. Yes?
Are you sure it's a little early for that, Max Kellerman? Do you really think that Kawhi Leonard wants to play with LeBron James? Come on, man.
Yes, we've heard he doesn't want to play LeBron's shadow. Maybe he winds up in the Clippers with KD. And AD, KD, Kawhi, the Greek Freak, you can put them in whatever order you want. They're all MVP caliber, right one level below LeBron James.
Well, Max Kellerman, you know what's wrong with that? And we know what your stance is when it comes to AD and Antetokounmpo and Kawhi Leonard. But you know what all 3 of those players have in common? And they're all great, borderline transcendent as individuals. What they all have in common is that they've never won a regular season MVP award and also been in the finals. Now, Kawhi Leonard has been in the finals. He's won a finals MVP award, but he's never won a regular season MVP award. But I just noticed how Max Kellerman very slyly leaves out Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. For whatever reason, he believes that those other 3 players, Antetokounmpo, Anthony Davis, and Kawhi Leonard, are all better than Steph Curry and Kevin Durant, even though they've accomplished far less other than Kawhi.
If LeBron James gets Kawhi Leonard and the Warriors remain intact, I'm here to tell you the Lakers will beat the Warriors next year.
Well, they'll be on the level to beat them. I'm not sure if they will, but they'll be on the level. Once again, the duo of LeBron James and Anthony Davis should be able to offset the duo of Steph Curry, the speculative duo of Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. The difference is going to be that one team plays in a real system and the other team plays the LeBron James system. So once again, the question has to be, is LeBron James going to truly utilize Anthony Davis, or is he going to make him Chris Bosh 2.0?
Next year, I believe Kawhi is, when he's healthy, is better than Steph or KD. That much, but still better. 2 best players will both be on the Lakers, and they'll flesh out the roster other ways. Don't forget, in order to get AD, you will lose whatever is valuable that you now have. Now, Stephen A., I would do that if I were the Lakers. That's not the only way to skin this cat. Because the fact of the matter is, if the question is, do you want LeBron and AD and nothing else, essentially, you got to start with whatever, you got to attract whatever else you can. Or you want LeBron and Kawhi and Kuzma and Hart and Ingram and company. Well, actually, even if you think AD is that much better than Kawhi, you'd rather have the second. All those players are cheap, by the way. They're rookie deals still. So
right, but LeBron James is trying to win championships. He's not worried about the salary cap. I like your previous idea better. Mortgage the franchise for Anthony Davis. Hope that you can sign Kawhi, and then just bring in a bunch of D-League guys who can make wide open shots and are willing to hustle on defense. That's a better plan than that other one of, just hope that you can sign Kawhi and keep all the young guys. No, you can't do that. LeBron James is going to be 34 years old.
So maybe if you're right and Kawhi absolutely rules out the Lakers, but I think it's a little early for that. So no, AD does not hold LeBron's future in his hands necessarily.
Well, what does that even mean? He does not hold LeBron James' future in his hands necessarily. That's all contingent on what Kawhi Leonard's going to do. Your point would be better if Kawhi Leonard had made a public declaration that he likes LeBron James or that he wants to play for the Lakers, but he's never done that. So we have to, quote-unquote, assume that Kawhi Leonard might even stay with Toronto or that he might go join the Clippers. Once again, none of these stars truly want to voluntarily play with LeBron James. As soon as Anthony Davis decided that he was going to change agencies and align himself with Clutch Sports, we knew, as Charles Barkley would say, that the fix was in. Another hint is what? Anthony Davis wears the number 23 in honor of his childhood hero, LeBron James. So LeBron is going to try to play this fanboy thing out. He knows that Anthony Davis is a huge admirer of his. He's going to try to milk that fanboy aspect for all it's worth until Anthony Davis actually signs a contract with the Lakers. Then Anthony Davis can find out who LeBron James really is, but by then it'll be too late.
Let me tell you why I think you're wrong. But I respect where you're coming from. But hear me out with this, Max. If AD doesn't go to the Lakers, we know he's going somewhere. So work with me.
Allegedly, that's not true. We can't just assume that he's going somewhere unless you have irrefutable evidence that he's going to demand a trade out of New Orleans no matter what. So we can't jump off of that false notion right there.
He go to Golden State, it's a problem. He goes to the Clippers, it's a problem. He goes to the Boston Celtics, it's a problem.
Right, but do the Clippers have enough to trade for Anthony Davis? I mean, what do they really have where they could acquire Anthony Davis in a trade? Now, Golden State is possible. Who knows? We know that Alvin Gentry has a history with Golden State. He was one of their top assistant coaches back in 2015. He also was the coach in Phoenix when Steve Kerr was there as the GM. So who knows? Maybe they would consider making a deal if Anthony Davis walked into the New Orleans Pelicans front office and told them, look, I'm out, trade me. And they said, okay, we're going to move you to Golden State. We're going to get back Draymond, Klay Thompson, a first-round draft pick, and whatever. That could possibly happen.
Problem. He goes to Toronto, it's a problem. You see what I'm saying? We don't know if Kawhi or KD are coming to the Lakers. We heard Kevin Durant basically recruiting Kawhi rather.
I agree. And I said from the moment I made that video that it was obvious to me that is what Kevin Durant was doing.
Some people have joked about that. What he had to say about LeBron, that was basically him recruiting Kawhi. If that was true, we saw that. So if you don't think KD's coming, if Toronto and everybody in the NBA has been given the impression that the Clippers or Toronto are a more likely option than the Lakers for Kawhi because he's just a different kind of dude that doesn't want the noise and the paparazzi and stuff like that, then my God,
it's not that he's a quote-unquote different kind of dude. Maybe he's just a grown man who does not want a camera in his face all the damn time. He just wants to come to the court, come to the arena, play basketball, go home and make love to his wife and go to sleep. Is that a problem?
Not only do I have to go after Anthony Davis because that's the one player that I need out, since Kawhi and KD might not be available, I have to worry about where AD's going to go. I gotta play defense and offense with this guy. I gotta get him to keep him away from others.
AD ain't gonna wind up in Toronto and staying in Toronto. I'm confident.
Well, I know that. I'm just saying, but Boston's a possibility.
Hey, you never know. With that GM that they have up there in Toronto, Masai Ujiri, who knows? He might try to put together a package and see if he can get AD. He might offer those young forwards that they have, throw in Kyle Lowry, a first-round draft pick. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? Other than Brian Windhorst, nobody thought that they were going to be the ones to land Kawhi until it happened.
But let's say swears there a possibility.
Or let's say Boston trades for him, or Toronto trades for him. No one's really talking about the possibility Toronto could maybe trade for him as a rental.
Well, it's trade.
Well, I just said that.
Because it's right to he's under contract until after 2020.
But let's say the Kyrie plus stuff winds up getting AD for Boston. Is it the Lakers' year this year anyway? No, they ain't winning the championship, almost no matter what. Could the Celtics? Yeah, maybe. Or certainly contend when AD might put him over the top. But who?
The Celtics are not going to win a championship if they have to trade away Kyrie Irving to get AD. Kyrie Irving is not an impactful player on the level of Anthony Davis. But the only reason why you would make that trade is to pair them in tandem. You're not going to trade for Anthony Davis and hope that he meshes well with Terry Rozier. I mean, give me a break.
But who says AD stays in Boston? Maybe AD gets traded to Boston. You can't rule out the possibility that the Lakers still
Can I say
land
something about
Kawhi, and then AD signs in LA with Kawhi and LeBron. That could happen too.
Fair enough.
Right, but you're talking about in 2020. LeBron James is going to be 34 years old in a few days. Max Kellerman, would you wake the hell up?
Can I say something about your point that I want to be on the record right now stating, Max?
Sure.
If they were able, I don't think it's going to, believe me, I don't believe it's possible, but I'm just fantasizing here. If the Los Angeles Lakers acquired Anthony Davis without having to give up Kuzma, I like their chances to win it all this year.
Well, shit, Stephen A. Smith. If you can go to the corner store and win a scratch off and become a multi-millionaire, you'd like that shit too, right? But it's not going to happen.
Real quickly, guys.
How are they going to do that without giving up Kuzma?
I understand that, but I'm just saying, you just say they're not going to win no matter.
Right, but if you understand that, why the hell are you going to make up a hypothetical that you already know is an impossibility? Like, come on.
Almost no matter what. I'm saying, no. If you keep Kuzma and got AD, you pull that off. Would I bet on the Lakers? Hell yeah. Yeah.
Real quickly, guys, I want to get your thoughts on this, Max.
But anyway, that's basically it on that. We'll see what happens. But you can bet your bottom dollar. LeBron James' future in regards to being a contender to win a championship is directly aligned with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis did not sign with Rich Paul for no reason. If for some reason they're unable to make that trade happen, that will have a staggering effect on the next 3 years of the LeBron James tenure in LA. Because I do not think that Kevin Durant is going to come and play alongside LeBron James. And I definitely don't think that Kawhi Leonard wants to play with LeBron James. If you watch Kawhi play in Toronto, he plays a very 1990s to mid-2000s style of off-guard play. He plays a lot like D. Wade or Michael Jordan. He likes the mid-range shot. He likes to slash to the basket. He likes his ISOs. So I just don't see him fitting in well with LeBron. But anyway, peace.